Woo! What's good, family? What's good? Coach Ronnie here, and we are on day 5, the grand finale. We got people rolling in. Anthony Paradiso. Gordo is here as usual. My man, the regular, is in the building, lining everything up so we can crush this thing. I am just finished the workout myself. Ayala is in the building as usual, the regular. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We got to get it in, right? Raise your hand if you know what this is, right? And you raise your hand if you're going to get it in today or you already got it in today. Actually, give me a fist, y'all. Give me a fist if you're going to get it in or you already got it in. I already got it in. Recovery time. Here we go. All right. Recovery time is over. Now let's talk about this 60. Get some more people time to roll in. But first, there we go. Gordo, yes, sir. If you got your work in, give me that fist. Let's go. Raise your hand. Yes, sir. I love it. I love it. Yes, Anthony. Yes, sir. Get it in. Yes, sir. Let's get some people. Bacani. David Jr., David Bacani, what's up, man? Long time no see. All right, my man. Who we got? Wade's in the building, yes, another regular. Good to see you, Mr. Wade. I can't wave back at you for some reason. There we go. All right. So, as people roll in, let's go ahead and proceed. So, congratulations, you made it to day 5 of the video series, right? On how to improve your 60 time. Darren Jr. is in the building, another regular. Oh, good to see you, Darren. Good to see you. Yes, like I was saying, you made it to day 5 of the 5-day video series on how to improve your 60 time. All right. So I want to thank you guys for giving me your time. Raise a hand if the information has been valuable for you. You know, raise your hand if you plan on implementing the things that you've learned so far. All right. Well, in the case of yesterday's video, you need to look into Steve. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Like I said, folks, raise your hand if you're going to take action on this. There we go. Darren Jr., take action on the information. Or if you're going to research some information on how to improve your 60 time. And based on yesterday, you need to look into how important a 60 is if you're looking to get scholarships, if you're looking to improve your PG rating. Gordo, yes sir, yes sir. All right, so we're going to touch on the points that I feel that are most important to improve your 60 time. All right, the first one should not be a surprise at all. Pure Drive, good to see you. Pure Drive Golf, good to see you. The first one should not be a shocker at all. Let's get stronger. Let's get more powerful. The strength first and foremost. The strength is the foundation of our, let's call it our speed pyramid right here. Strength is the key. I stated this in an earlier video. Yes, we can. Fernando is in the building. Good to see you. Yes, you know, we are going to need proper mechanics, 100%. Mobility, yes. Flexibility, yes. We can do that all day, but we will hit a roof. We will max out, all right? We need strength to enhance our ability to produce force, period, end of the day. That's what running is all about, generating force from the ground up throughout the body, throughout the legs and the arms, and propelling yourself forward, all right? When you, example of propelling yourself, if we're not as strong as we need to be and we're running, and we can't generate enough force to stay on the balls of our feet, we might start landing on our heels. So we're no longer propelling ourselves. What's up, Hicks? Good to see you, my friend. We're no longer propelling ourselves forward. If we're heel striking, we're stopping and starting every time. In other words, we're pulling our body as opposed to propelling our body. So that's just an example of how important strength is. Without strength, the bottom of the pyramid, we can't have what we have next. What is next? And Johnny, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. What up, Hicks, man? Hey, here giving you the knowledge, my friend. Here giving you the knowledge. So, like I said, We have the strength first, but we can't develop our power without that strength. Okay, and when we start talking power, that's the next step. That's the step from strength. We're talking going from A to Z, right? Going from A to Z. When we add power into the mix, how fast can you go from A to Z? That's the difference. Power, strength. You want to take as much resistance as you can in a safe manner from A to Z. Now, when we're talking power, we want to see how explosively, safely, and under control we can move from A to Z. That's the difference right there. But that's the foundation, okay? So, now let's talk about the other things that I mentioned. Improving joint mobility and soft tissue flexibility, joint mobility. So, I'll give an example. So, first of all, joint mobility is a joint's ability to move throughout the full range of motion, right? Coach Gio's in the building. Gio Grass, good to see you. Good to see you. Mobility is the ability of the joint to move through its full range of motion. All right. So if we're running, working our hips, coach, yes sir, yes sir, and we're running. I give you an example. Our top velocity leg rotation is like this, right? So if I'm at the top, the highest point of my sprint on my 40, say I'm at the 30 to 40 yard mark. My legs move almost like a unicycle, like this, right? When we're in this acceleration phase, they move like pistons in an engine. You guys heard me say that many a times. CRHO 15's in the building. You guys here at Smart Dance heard me say that many a times. Move your legs like a piston, acceleration, top velocity, like the unicycle, right? But when we get to this point, Aiden's in the building, good to see you. When we get to that top velocity point, what if we have poor hip mobility? What if we're not able to move through our joints range of motion efficiently? Well, this might become a problem, right? Doing a unicycle or top velocity leg action might become a problem, right? Even with your acceleration, the piston's moving. If you can't get your knees high as they need to be, if you have trouble triple extending your leg, that's extending your leg at the hip, knee, and joint. That can become a problem, and that can cause you time on your 60. All right, so that's why joint mobility is so important. Soft tissue flexibility or muscle flexibility. My man CRHO415 has a question. Can you record and post or send this? Yeah, man. I'm gonna post it. Yeah, it'll be up. Don't worry about that. It'll be up. Cooper G20's in the building. Let me wave to you. So, what most people are a lot more familiar with, and good extension timing, glutes, hamstrings. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%. Yes, sir. Ayla, yes, sir. No question. So, let's go to soft tissue. Let's talk about flexibility. A lot of you guys are more familiar with flexibility. Flexibility is an example. During our assessment here, we do straight leg raise. Right? What we're looking for is your hamstrings, range of motion, or flexibility. Your hamstrings, range of motion, or flexibility. We're also looking at your hip flexors, right, to see how tight your hip flexors are. All right. So these are muscles that are very important when it comes to sprinting efficiently. All right. Is your concern on the joint mobility more on hip flexion and internal rotation too? Definitely. Yes. Because when we're running, we want to stay away from that valgus stress on the knee. And coach, if you work with younger kids, you see that valgus stress every day. I know I'm coaching them all the time about just something like jumping, for example. Having the kids, you see that valgus stress on the knee. Repetitively, I'm always coaching. I'm sure you are too, keeping those legs in a neutral position, almost maybe pushing outside to protect those knees. So yes, definitely internal rotation, more on hip flexion or internal rotation. Yeah, definitely hip flexion. Yes, as I stated with the, with the acceleration phase, with the pistons. Yeah, if you don't have efficient hip flexion, that could be a problem, right? Or with internal rotation, I guess I'm coming from more of a strength perspective when I say, preventing valgus stress on the knee, But I'm definitely the hip flexion, yeah. And, kind of minimizing internal rotation, I guess, on heel strike when your foot hits the ground. So that's the perspective I'm coming from, all right? But let's see. We talked about, I gave an example of hamstring flexibility. If we can't effectively triple extend, that could be a problem, right? And then on the other side, hip flexion could be a problem. So those are the things you need to keep in mind, okay, when we're dealing with soft tissue flexibility, the hip flexor muscles, all right? So like I stated, lack of flexibility, lack of mobility can lead to inefficient sprinting mechanics, all right? So those are those points, all right? And I've mentioned mechanics many times, so I'm going to talk a little more in detail about sprinting mechanics. If we do not have proper sprinting mechanics, what we do is we leak energy. A lot of us coaches call it, Jackson Hollywood Hood is in the building, good to see you. A lot of us coaches call it energy leaks, all right? When we have our guys here, smart test lined up on the line, something tiny as your foot position can be an energy leak. For example, we teach our guys heel-to-toe relationship. We teach our guys a heel-to-toe relationship, and I'll see the back leg of the stance maybe pointing out in this direction, front foot maybe pointing inward. Those are the things we want to prevent, because one thing, they're putting the joints in a bad position, number one, but like I'm stating, they can be energy leaks. A huge energy leak you see as a coach is your arm action, all right? A lot of guys want to run with their arms across their body. A lot of guys, this is the most popular one for me. Coaches, can you relate? Doing the chop, doing the robot. That's the one we see a lot, right? And when your arms and legs, Coach Sanitas Sharma, good to see you, Coach, good to see you. When we're not efficiently moving our arms, we're preventing our legs to maximize their potential, all right? So the legs and arms need to work in sync, and that's one thing I stress. That's one thing I stress when teaching sprinting mechanics. But definitely, when we're not sprinting, we don't have proper sprinting mechanics, what are some good workouts to strengthen the muscles that we use to run faster? Lack of mobility, not enough tension on muscle. Yes. Johnny, I'm going to talk about that at the end. Johnny Bowman, I'm talking about that at the end. Ryan Greenstein is in the building. Appreciate you, Ronnie. Yes, not enough extension. We talked about that earlier, specifically when the leg strikes the ground. If we can't triple extend efficiently, that's a problem. That cuts off, I like to say, our line of force when we're running. No problem, Johnny, no problem. So I got off topic a little bit. What are we talking about? Mechanics, yes. So, yes, we have to have efficient mechanics to prevent energy leaks, to have the proper force production to propel us down the track efficiently. In the 60s case, maybe the field efficiently, okay? But proper sprinting mechanics are essential as we go up the pyramid there. All right. And I put also sprinting phases. We talked about the different phases, the acceleration phase, the top velocity phase. You need to understand how to transition from each phase of sprinting efficiently, once again, with efficient mechanics, all right? Acceleration, in my opinion, is the most challenging phase of sprinting, because a lot of guys aren't able to keep that line of force from their heel. I like to say from their heel through the air, a straight line of force production. A lot of guys, especially younger guys, have trouble maintaining that line of force. When you strike the ground, you might collapse, and as I mentioned earlier, when you might collapse, there you go, Coach. Yes, you might collapse. Meaning you're compromise that line of force. We want that body here. Our torso collapses when they're more like this. So that goes back to heel striking. Okay, so now we're no longer propelling ourselves forward. Now we're pulling our body. We're pulling each step instead of propelling each step. Okay, so that's why that acceleration phase, mastering that acceleration phase, is so important. All right, and top velocity phases goes back to what Ayala mentioned with not enough extension. As I said earlier, during your top velocity phase, when your leg strikes, it needs to strike in full extension on the balls of your feet. The minute we break that line of force when our leg strikes, again, we're talking about landing on the heel. We're talking about pulling our body, right, instead of propelling our body, all right? So, again, going back to that extension reference and going back to proper sprinting mechanics, in this case, the top velocity. But that's, I guess we can have those at the same level on the sprinting pyramid, or improving your 60 pyramid, all right? So the last thing I want to touch on is all right here. If you listen to any top track athlete, they're going to tell you how important their visualization is, how important it is to see yourself succeeding, all right? You know, here at Smart Tennis, we had our 60 testing. If anybody's here from Smart Tennis, what was that, about 2 months? Not 2 months, maybe a month ago, right? Not even, maybe 3 weeks to a month ago. And when the guys are running or about to run, you can see it on their face if they have the confidence, if they're not sure how they're going to do, you know, and that is everything. That is everything. One of my most recent athletes I trained with to prepare for the 60, I'm going to post his information probably tonight. We had a month to work together, only a month, and we met once a week. So that's you know, that can be tough, right? So it got to a point, Matteo's in the building, another regular. It got to the point where this man understood the mechanics, you know. He had the power, understood the mechanics. We have a local flexibility specialist. We sent him there. We dotted all our I's and crossed all our T's. It got to a point where it was here now. I kept telling him, you have to see it. You have to understand. All you need is one of your best 60s. I always have my guys go through a checklist when they're on the line, you know, from the head up. Talk about our feet positioning, right? Talk about our hip positioning, our shoulder positioning, our posture, acceleration posture. Have my guys go through a checklist. So at this point, it was just a matter of, what's up, Grayson? How you doing? New client. At this point, it's all mental. It's just a matter of you guys being able to see yourself succeeding repeatedly, having the right thoughts in your head, understanding that all you need is that one supreme 60 to turn some heads, all right? So, guys, those are my major points on how to improve your 60 time. Do we have any questions out there? Any questions? Now, yesterday, okay, when the athletes stay focused, activate better, exactly, yeah, yeah. I just, in general, man, I have my guys do a lot of mental work, and it's when the guys are clicking mentally, I get into the subconscious mind. I get into that stuff with my guys. So when their thoughts are where they need to be, and you know, like I said, I use visualization. When all these things are happening, I compare it to how, you know, you heard Michael Jordan talk all the time about being in the zone. Kobe, Michael, all these guys are in the zone, and that's one of the things I like to dive into, that subconscious mind and your thoughts, and like I said, that visualization. Those, in my experience, have gone a long way, you know, because everything starts with the mind, everything starts with a thought, you know. So again, your mental approach is huge for me, is my particular training style. And like I said, Alexandra Black Planet is in the building. Good to see you. And like I stated earlier, guys, you know, visualization is huge. Understanding, having the proper thoughts going into your 60, and seeing yourself succeed prior to the 60, and succeeding as you're running the 60. You know, your thoughts are everything. So those are the major points I wanted to talk about. Again, we have to get stronger. Once we're stronger, okay, can I have a couple, do you emphasize any foot strike drills on the acceleration training days? What are some, excuse me, striking knee drive? Yes. You know what, Coach? I think we all do the the wall drill. I do that, you know. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I do the wall drill, but what I prefer is I call it the triple extension drive, leg drive, and I'll just explain. I'm sure you do it. I like to put a box in front of my athlete. They start in our standard heel to toe starting position, and I like to have them drive off that drive leg and finish with the drive leg with the opposite leg on the box in their sprinting position. Does that make sense? You know, I just call it the triple extension drill. You know, that's one of my favorite. As in foot strikes, you know, I love when a guy first comes in, I'm going to teach him, want to go over the marching A's. You know, when I see a lot of guys, when they first come in, they do the marching A, there's too much tension, right? There's too much tension, there's not freedom, and for me, there's no sync. There's a lack of synchronicity between the arms and legs. There's not always, but there's a disconnect. So I like to build the guys up with the marching A's. If you could sled work, definitely. If you do sled work with your athletes, for your athletes that struggle to accelerate, when do you transition from sled marching to sled sprint? Good question. So sled marching to sled sprint. Now, for me, I'm going to stick with the marching A's. So with the marching A's, that when I start seeing that sync, you know, between Caleb's in the building, when I start to see that sync, you know, between the legs and the arms, that's when I will progress to, let me read the question again. Sled work with the athletes. If you're athletes that struggle to accelerate, when do you transition from sled marching to sled sprints? Okay, well, when I see that stability, that ability to stabilize during that march, because you probably can relate to this. You'll have a kid marching, and we'll see that knee cave in. We see that knee cave in, having trouble maintaining the proper acceleration posture. I need to see rigid, proper triple extension on the balls of the feet, you know, before I progress to the actual sprint. I have to see stability, and I have to see minimal energy leaks. All right, and then, you know, as we both know, that's a strength thing as much as anything else. So that's how I look at that. All right, and make sure I answered everything when you transition from. Then you asked us something about striking, knee drive. What are some cues? Cues. Good question there. I'm trying to think if it's really a cue that I use. Well, I like to use the word pop the ground. All right. So a lot of times, for me, if I don't tell a guy to pop the ground, he's going to end up heel striking. He's going to end up breaking his line of force when he strikes the ground. So, you know, I like to have the guys keep their leg. I tell them to keep their legs stiff, and pop the ground. And for me, that helps the guys to maintain that triple extension and strike the ground with the balls of their feet. And it's not super loud, as we know. Once you're doing that, you're breaking that line of force. So let me know if that answer your question, Coach. But that's how I handle that. Let me scroll up. Okay, M. Golden. Bond is in the building. Good to see you. Bond is in the building. Good to see you. But no question. Let's see what time it is, because I believe it's getting kind of late. I do martial arts. I got a session coming up. Awesome. Thank you, Coach. It did. Okay, perfect. No problem, Coach. No problem. So, I know you guys, well, let me ask you this. Raise your hand if you're ready to start your 60 enhancement program. Raise your hand if you're ready to get faster running this 60, guys. Let me know. Give me some hand raises. Who is ready to get faster at their 60? Who's ready to improve their 60 time? And once again, Coach. Okay, arms are coming up. So what I am offering, there we go, hands coming up. I appreciate that, guys. I am offering a 8 to 12 week program on how to improve your 60 time. All right, it's an 8 to 12 week program on how to improve your 60. All right, so to get started on this program, just comment down below and I'll get in contact with you. All you need to do is give me a peace sign. How about that? Give me a peace sign and I will get in contact with you guys, break down the program with you, and we will improve our 60s. I'm excited to post my last post about the athlete I mentioned I trained with for a month. Watch his story. I'm going to post it on Instagram later today and Facebook business page. Hope you guys are there. But check it out. We had a month to work together. We worked out once a week, and my man put up some good numbers at his particular showcase. So look out for that number one. No, look out for that number two. Number one, if you're ready to improve your 60, you can, like I said, leave that peace sign, or you can reach out to him. You just shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM. All right, coach. Awesome. Shoot me a DM, and we'll get this thing going. All right, guys, I have to take off. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys for the last 5 days. Coach Ronnie here. I'm here. Shoot me questions, man. Shoot me questions. I post YouTube videos. I'm always trying to drop the knowledge on you guys. So you guys have a great can't even talk. You guys have a great upcoming weekend. This is Coach Ronnie here, and I am out. Bye-bye.